Hey guys, Reality Reseller here, back with another video, and today I want to talk about the top 9 things that you should be looking for to sell on eBay right now in 2017, okay? I've got a list of 9 things that I sell regularly on eBay that you can find just about anywhere that can make you good profits, and each category has a wide variety of items. That's a good thing. All right, now some of these items, some of these categories, they seem pretty obvious, and some of them are, but you know what, sometimes you just gotta say it and let people know that it is a real thing, that you can sell these things on eBay for a major profit, and there's a few in here that you wouldn't really think about. So let's jump right into it. The number one thing that I think everyone knows that you can sell on eBay for a good profit is video games. Now, video games are everywhere. You can find them at clearance at Walmart. You can find them at tag sales, thrift stores. You can find them in your own house. They're everywhere, and everyone loves video games. Now, we're not talking about just brand new video games, like the brand new systems. We're talking about not just the retro ones either, but the everything in between. Now, it comes to a point where, when Nintendo came out, for example, the kids back then, they're our age now. They're in their late 20s or in their early 30s, and they want to relive that childhood. Now it's nice with the, say the Nintendo Classics and the SNES Classic coming out. You can be able to replay a lot of those games, but that's not what people are really looking for. They want that original cartridge, they want the original systems, and they want to play it the way they used to back in the day. I know that I personally have all those old systems, I think every single one of them, and there's no way I'd ever get rid of any of them. They're worth a lot of money. I can sell them on eBay and make some money, but they're only going to go up in value in time, and I'm only going to want to play them more as time goes on. So guys, overall video games, any kind, they're all worth good money. Check them up on eBay. You can always resell them. Number 2 is another major category, which again seems pretty obvious, but it's a huge category that you can span a million different varieties, is clothes. Guys, clothes is there's a huge market for clothing on eBay. And yes, over the years of more resellers coming out and eBay getting bigger and bigger, the market is kind of flooded, but think about how many kinds of clothing there are, how many brands, how many styles. You've got 4 seasons out of the year. You've got men and women's fashion. You've got, high end, low end, everything in between. It wasn't too long ago that you can buy any Ralph Lauren polo shirt in a thrift store for $2 and sell it for $20 online. Those kind of days, I don't say they're dead, but they're definitely not as strong as they used to be. But you can still make money on stuff like that. But I recommend, there's plenty of videos on YouTube for like top brands to buy for clothing to sell on eBay. Those are good guides to really dig deep into the clothing brand, into the clothing niche. So clothing as a category is huge, and I would definitely look into it. But yeah, go online and find some really deep guide on like the best clothing brands to look at. Okay, but clothing as a category is awesome to sell on eBay. 3 is my third category, I say, is books. Books, people generally think about Amazon FBA because it's the major bookseller in the world is Amazon, and you can ship your books out to them. They'll package them for you. They'll hold the inventory. They'll ship them for you, and they do hold a mighty hefty fee. But I sell a lot of books on eBay as well. Generally, most of the time I sell them on eBay is when either like the price on Amazon has tanked significantly, either it's a certain time of the year, or if the book is in not a great condition, or if something's maybe a little wrong with it. For example, if I've got a really good book that's worth a lot of money, but maybe there's like a small amount of water damage to it, I won't ship it off to Amazon because that's against their guidelines. But I will sell on eBay. I'll take the pictures, I'll let it be known what's wrong with it, and it'll sell on eBay very quickly for pretty close to the price I would get on Amazon, for a lot less of a fee too. So books sell great on eBay. Keep that in mind. There's a few apps out there that you can use to look at the price on books and all that. And here comes my pup. Stop by, say hi. But books sell great on eBay, so definitely take a look at them and give them a chance. Look at the sold listings on eBay. You'll see all sorts of great book selling prices. I've sold $100 books on eBay. I've done it all the time. I've got a dozen books right now, not many, maybe a dozen books or so listed on eBay, textbooks for the school year, that are worth $20, $30, $40 or more, and they're going to sell over the next week or two, which is going to be great. So books definitely sell on eBay. Definitely something to check out. Another category that I sell a lot of on eBay is toys. Now, I don't necessarily mean, brand new toys, especially if anything, I mean, older toys, used toys that, you don't have the original packaging, but maybe it's a classic vintage toy, or maybe it's a rare toy, maybe it's a board game, something like that. Board games sell amazing on eBay. People are looking for a good deal on these old board games that they just can't find anymore. Maybe they hope to find them at a tag sale someday, or maybe they will buy them on Amazon for an extremely high premium price. You can make a lot of money selling board games or old toys, collectible toys, vintage toys on eBay, and there's a huge market for it. People, when they're looking for that specific thing that's kind of rare and kind of outdated, they're going to go on eBay first because they know that that's where these things are going to be found. That's where, while they don't sell super often, you can probably get a good price for them. If you get something that's rare, you can probably get a premium price for something like that on eBay. That's where people look for them. So definitely check out toys of all kinds. Like I said, even used ones, as long as they're in good working condition, I say go for it on eBay. Sell those toys on eBay. Again, so it's a wide variety too. It's a huge category. Number 5 is another big category, but it needs to be said, electronics, guys. In electronics, I mean everything from computers to smartphones, televisions, just about anything, keyboards, mice, you name it. Look around your house, all the electronics, old stereo equipment sells incredible on eBay. Again, go online, go on YouTube, and look at the top stereo speaker or receiver brands to sell on eBay. I'll never forget, one of the best times I ever sold an electronic on eBay was I was at a tag sale. I had just the day before looked up the best receiver brands to sell on eBay to resell online, and the number one thing that everyone said was Sansui, Sansui, Sansui. It's a receiver. I think it's Japanese. I'm not 100% sure, but very rare, very hard to find. They're worth a lot of money. I was at a tag sale the next morning after I saw this video on YouTube, and there was one sitting right there. Swear to God, I bought it for $1. I bought it for $1 right there. I didn't test it, but I bought it. I knew it was a Sansui, so it's got to be worth something. And it took me a couple months. I priced it a little high. I think I sold it for like $70-something plus shipping. So, I mean, I spent $1 on it and made over $70, so that's a pretty awesome score. But electronics, there's a huge market for electronics. Any old, like I said, stereo equipment, old clocks, things like that. Definitely look at electronics. Look at the major brands, the Sonys, the Panasonics, things like that. There's so many big brands that people will pay big money for, that especially at tag sales. People just, they don't realize that people still use this stuff. And they're looking for it. It's hard to find. They don't make it anymore. So look through electronics. When you're doing electronics, test them. Make sure you test them, because the last thing you want to do is think you get this huge score. You get the money in PayPal, and then let's say you've already spent the money on more inventory, and then the thing doesn't work because you didn't test it. They return it, and then you're really in trouble. So always test your electronics, guys, and make sure they work. Which brings me into my next item, number 6, is broken items or parts. Now, eBay is the perfect platform to sell not working or broken items, especially electronics, things like that, because there's plenty of people out there that specifically buy them broken because they know how to fix them. Because they don't know how to fix them, and they're going to take them and they're going to fix them, make them look real nice, and they're going to flip them for more money. So if they know that you're selling, say, a Sansui receiver for $25 because you know it's broken, or $50 because you know it's broken, they know probably what's wrong with it based on your description. They can fix it for a couple bucks, resell it for 5 times the money. That's a business for them too. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody. Broken electronics sell really well. People sell broken smartphones all the time with cracked screens, or computers that are burnt out, or the Xbox consoles with the ring of death thing that everyone knows about. Electronics sell great, even broken, even parts. Even I was going to buy a receiver off a flea market one time. I think it was a Marantz receiver, which is there's a big brand. There you go. And there's Marantz. It's a big receiver name. And I think he wanted, it wasn't much, like $20 for it, something like that. I tried to get him down to like 10 or something, and he wouldn't do it because he even said, the knobs in this thing go for like $5-10 a piece or something like that, because people want those parts. So guys, always look at parts. Even if it's broken, you can get it for a couple of bucks. It might be a sweet score. So think about broken items in general. Anything broken or anything for parts. Really something to think about. Let's see. Number 7, kind of going back into the media a little bit, but old media, VHS, CDs, DVDs, vinyl, all this stuff. They don't, they make DVDs still, but that's kind of going away. They still make CDs, but it is going away. But VHS, guys, there's a huge market for VHS movies. Certain genres and certain categories of VHS movies. Brand new sealed VHS, or any kind of brand new sealed VHS, floppy disks. Any kind of sealed media is worth a lot of money. People don't realize this, but you can go into a thrift store, and almost anytime you go in there, you're going to find at least a couple of sealed in factory plastic wrap VHS tapes. Okay, guys, every time I see these, it doesn't matter if it's, it's Fujifilm, if it's Sony, or whatever brand it is, I'm buying them because they're 50 cents, maybe $1 a piece. I'm buying them every single time. I don't even look. I throw them all in my basket. They always sell online. Actually, this morning I sold it was five sealed VHS tapes for $19.99. Free shipping, media mail cost me like $3.50 to ship it, $3.63 to ship it, or something like that. I mean, I think probably profited $10 on it. Nice little profit. Had it like maybe a month or so. Like I said, CDs. You go to a garage sale, guys. People just throw CDs away, quarter a piece, 50 cents a piece. You use, like a scanning app, like an eBay app or an Amazon seller app to scan the barcodes. I've sold CDs for $30, $20 all the time. It happens all the time. Look through old vinyl, CDs, DVDs can be a crazy amount of money. If you get like special edition DVDs, box sets, vinyl I know sells well. I haven't personally gotten to vinyl that much, but I do know the popular bands. If you see an old Beatles album or Rolling Stones or Led Zeppelin or something like that, or the Doors, crazy classic rock stuff, obviously it's going to be worth some good money. But if you see some good vinyl in good condition that works, obviously, if you're ever going to sell vinyl, make sure you test it. But that stuff's worth the same amount of money. So that whole category of old media, if you see, at a tag sale at a thrift store, if it's new, obviously better, but old media like that, guys, it will always sell great. Look up the sold listings on eBay. You'll see for yourself. It's insane. Number 8 is coffee mugs. There's a huge market for coffee mugs on eBay. Again, the best place to find coffee mugs, tag sales and thrift stores. You go to any thrift store and there are shelves dedicated to just coffee mugs. The best coffee mug I ever sold was like a Disney brand, like a Goofy coffee mug. As soon as I saw it, I knew it was like, oh, that's a sweet coffee mug. It was bigger. It was really thick. It was heavy duty. I think I paid $2 for it at a thrift shop. I threw it to auction just to see what would happen. I think I sold it for, it was like $32 or something like that. I figured maybe $10, $15. I think it was like $32 with shipping. So after shipping and fees, I probably ended up with like $18, $20 profit or something like that, whatever it was. But I mean, for a coffee mug, it's crazy how much these go for. I know Starbucks coffee mugs go for a lot. Make sure there's no cracks in them, make sure they're intact. If there's a good, either a brand name on it, or if there's, a good genre or a good, what's the word I'm looking for here? A good category or whatever it is. But, coffee mugs sell great. If you're not sure, if just when you're out looking, just open the eBay app up, search. I've got a Snap-on Tools coffee mug. Whatever it is, you look it up. You'll see what the sold listings for. You'll see when it sold, how much it sold for, and I'm telling you can make some great money with coffee mugs. I know there's people on eBay that's all they do, and they make a killing on it. So always look up coffee mugs. Number 9, the final one for this list, just 9 things for top selling on eBay, in my opinion, right now. Shoes. I'm not considering this in the clothing category because the shoes are kind of their own thing. Again, people make an insane amount of money at eBay with just shoes. Let's go to just garage sales. You go to garage sales, you're paying for a pair of sneakers, you're paying $1. A pair of really nice boots, $2, $3, $5, maybe. Thrift store, $4.99, $5.99, depends on what it is, but it depends on the brand, how much you can sell it for, if you're willing to buy it or not. One of the best scores I ever had for shoes was I was at a tag sale a few months ago, and a guy had a pair of women's Harley Davidson leather boots, and right away I just zoned in on those. Right next to them there was a really brand new, almost pair of hiking boots, and then there was another pair was Durango Rebel cowboy boots, and really nice. They were all in very good to almost new condition, probably worn a couple times, and I've sold 2 of them already. It's a few months ago. I'm still hanging on the hiking boots, but the Durango Rebel cowboy boots sold within 2 weeks for I think $80. The Harleys took a month and a half. I sold it for about $50, and I paid $20 for all 3. So I paid $6.50, $7 a pair of shoes. And I mean, I'm sitting on one of them that I think I got listed for $25 or $30 or something like that. But it'll sell soon. I mean, it's there's plenty of watches and views, so it's only a matter of time. But shoes, know the brands, know the condition. Condition is key with shoes. I'll give you an example. I bought a pair of Jordans at a tag sale for $1. I'm like, oh sweet, this is gonna be an awesome score. They're super beat up, and I mean, I've dropped them like crazy. I've cleaned them, they're on my eBay store, but they're super beat up. And it's just an example of, doesn't matter if they're Jordans or not, because they are super beat up, and who's gonna want them if they look pretty crappy? I bought them for $1, so if I sell them, they're paying for shipping, so if I sell them for $3, $4, technically I'm gonna make money on it. But shoes, it's all about the brand, it's all about the quality, it's all about the trends, the seasons, and all things like that, just like clothes. So running down the list again, guys, top 9 that I think that you should be looking for on eBay, especially to start off with. Video games, definitely a huge one. Pretty obvious. Clothes, again, pretty obvious. Books, most people don't think about it. Toys, electronics, broken items or to be used for parts. Old media, VHS, CD, DVD, vinyl. Coffee mugs, and shoes. These are a bunch of things that are in abundance almost anywhere you go, for any tag sale, any garage sale, thrift store, church sale, any of those things. All these things are completely in abundance. They are everywhere, and they are dirt cheap, and they're a great way to get started and start your bankroll. Because again, when you start off, you're only going to have maybe 20 bucks in your pocket, maybe 50 bucks in your pocket, and you could load up on things like this. I mean, think about it. How many books can you buy for 50 bucks? You can buy a lot of books. How many crappy old video games, or how many pairs of shoes at a tag sale can you buy for 50 bucks? You could probably say you bought 50 pairs of shoes for $1 a piece. All of a sudden, boom, you got an eBay store with inventory, with a niche, and you're good to go. I mean, it's that quick. But do your research on all these categories as far as what sells, the conditions that are needed, things like that. Know the shipping costs, the sizes. But here's some good things to look for. If you don't know anything about any of these at all, start with one. Take one of these. Say, I'm just going to take toys, and I'm just going to master toys. Actually, that one might be kind of tough because it's a pretty wide thing. But maybe start with something that you know a little bit about, and really dig into it and really understand the sold listings, what these things sell for, what everyone wants, what they really are going to pay for these things, and how often they want them too. How often do they sell? So, and then just start working on this list that I gave you. Start working on this list one at a time. Master one for a couple weeks. Master another one for a couple weeks. Say after a couple months, you got all these categories just nailed down, and you know exactly what to look for. At that point, you walk into a thrift store or a tag sale, and you're going to clear the shelves, guys, with good inventory. You're going to clear it with good inventory. That things are going to sell fast. You're going to build your business even faster. So that's it for today. Like I said, these are the 9 things that I think you should be looking for on eBay right now, or really anytime. And they're going to sell. They're good categories to start with, and even in the intermediate and advanced levels, definitely things to look for at all times. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please like, comment, share, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And as always, Reality Reseller, have a great day.